Hello there, this is David from David Books and Comics, and with the advent of the Ahsoka series, I thought I'd show the world first editions of the Thrawn trilogy, what's called the Thrawn Trilogy, from the initial Star Wars universe novels, which now has been called the Legends. Anyway, so this is the first book edition where Thrawn makes his appearance, and this is the first graphic picture image that we have of Thrawn with the, can't see it here, but the kind of blue face, but you can see a little bit of the red eyes. Anyway, so this is the first of the series. As you can see, it's the world first edition. Heir to the Empire, and it introduces Thrawn and Thrawn's assistant, Captain Palayan. What's unique, of course, about the Thrawn character is that the Empire was made up of exclusively humans for a reason, that the Emperor chose to be, it's kind of a trope of superiority, race superiority, that Lucas initially introduced in the first Star Wars saga, the first three films that came out starting in 1977. Anyway, so here's Volume 1, Heir to the Empire, where it says the saga continues, and I think it gives you a timeline. I'll show it here, but it'll show in another edition in another edition of the Thrawn Trilogy that I'll show. So that's the first. This is the second book. It's called Dark Force Rising. And you see, as we flip through it, you see it's here, it's the Bantam Limited Edition came out in June 1992. The hardcover edition, also in June 1992. This is the fourth impression. All right, so that's that one. So that's Dark Force Rising. The stories is basically what happens is Luke Skywalker, I should say, is commissioned, I guess, by the Alliance, who are at this point, it's about 9 years, you would say, after the Return of the Jedi, and Luke, Leia, and Han are basically working for the Alliance to defeat any threats by the Empire. Grand Admiral Thrawn sort of appears out of nowhere and becomes a serious threat to the Empire and to the Republic that was reestablished by Luke, Leia, and Han in Return of the Jedi. So anyway, so that is the setting for these stories. The Grand Admiral Thrawn is introduced as an alien who has made it up through the ranks of the former Empire and established itself in one of the conclaves that was initially part of the Empire. Anyway, so that's Volume 2. And this is the last of the volumes. It's called The Last Command. And this one is a world first edition. This is published by Bantam. Hardcover edition. edition. They're wonderfully written space opera hardcover novels by Timothy Zahn. Now I'll show you the graphic novel edition compiled. For some reason, it's not cheap. But anyway, here is the graphic novel edition. These are the collected by Dark Horse, and based on the comic book series that they produced. And it features artwork by several artists, actually. And this is all adapted from the novels. So you have an introduction by Mike Barron, and then you have the scripts by Barron himself, and then pencils and inks are Olivier Vatine and Fred Blanchard. Art assists Vincent Rueda and Isabelle Rabarat and Ellie DeVille are the assistants, both in lettering and coloring. And this is the graphic presentation. You see Captain Palayan in the first image there. And very quickly, we're introduced to Grand Admiral Thrawn. And he's basically drawn the way he was initially shown on the cover of the hardcover novels of the Thrawn Trilogy. Basically the same image that you would see there. We're introduced to this kind of pseudo-Jedi who has force powers. Grand Admiral Thrawn is protected from these force powers by this creature. So that's wrapped around his back. They don't have force sensitivity, apparently. So these creatures, whenever he faces a Jedi, which he eventually does in many of the different parts, the different chapters of the story, he is always protected. Anyway, so that's that one. Gives you the entire Thrawn trilogy. Different artists, as I said, did different sections. Let's see if I can find the division here. See. You can see Lando also takes a lead role in the stories. And we're also introduced to several characters that appear in the extended universe. This is from the artist here is Terry Dodson, and this is from the Mara Jade is one of the characters that's introduced in the novel, along with Grand Admiral Thrawn. And anyway, I don't want to get too caught up in the extended universe that was initially established. But this issue, was beautifully drawn by Terry Dodson. Again, the script is by Mike Barron, the inks Kevin Nolan. And all adapted from the novel. Palayan is drawn this way. That's Admiral Palayan. Or Captain Palayan, sorry. And then for the third one, we have Edvin Bukovic and the inks Eric Shanower. So the different novels that were drawn by different artists. The three different novels. All right. I won't say how it ends, and I won't show how it ends. You'd have to read the series to find out. But that's that. that's the Thrawn Trilogy. Again, introducing one of the major characters into the current Star Wars universe. All right, so that's that. Yeah, so it tells you the timeline. So 5 years after the events in Return of the Jedi, Luke Skywalker has become the first in a long-awaited line of Jedi Knights, while Princess Leia and Han Solo are married and expecting twins. But the galaxy is not yet safe. The defeated Imperial fleet has found a new commander in the last of the Emperor's warlords, Grand Admiral Thrawn, who has made 2 vital discoveries that could destroy Luke's and the Galactic Alliance's New Republic. So these are the comic book adaptations, and the only trilogy compiled into 1-volume trilogy version of this series, which is kind of unfortunate. I wish they'd done one of these actually. This is the Jedi Academy trilogy, which is just as long, if not longer. And this one was the book club edition that was compiled by Guild America Books. So it features the entire Jedi Academy trilogy by Kevin J. Anderson. Beautifully written, great space opera adventure. Can't complain. Read the entire series. Didn't take me long. This one was written published in 1994, I think. Well, the copyright for this edition was 1994. So basically what this is about is the Luke Skywalker tries to reestablish the Jedi, what he called the Jedi Academy, and train new Jedi Knights. All right, so that's that. Enjoyed reading that. One of the best, I wanted to show this before. This is one of the best. This is by K.W. Jeter, one of the major SF writers that's out there. And this is uncommon, actually. Omnibus edition of the Mandalorian trilogy. What's called the Bounty Hunter trilogy. This is also one of the best written because of the quality of basically the quality of the writer. K.W. Jeter is one of the best writers out there in modern SF. Anyway, so that's that. This is the Bounty Hunter Wars by K.W. Jeter. All right, so that's all I wanted to show. I just wanted to show the Thrawn trilogy since the Ahsoka Star Wars has been introduced. And I hope you enjoyed this very short presentation on the Thrawn trilogy. And if you did, remember to give me that thumbs up. And thanks everyone for your subscriptions. And always, as always, feel free to comment. Thanks. Bye.